Yoga, Bombomti, Chini Tanchu, Mungondos.
Did you come back? OMG, I think it's your fault now. I think I get to blame you. So look, I always apologize. I take the blame. But listen, the first couple times I put these videos up and y'all clicked them, I'm gonna blame myself. That was an accident. I put it up there, you clicked it by accident. So it's my fault. I apologize. But look, if you done came back, you can't be mad at me. So whatever happens, happens. I appreciate you though.
Did that in this particular case as well?
That's correct.
All right. Was there a portion of this interview where she asked you actually to redo a portion of it?
That's correct.
Tell the jury about that circumstance.
Towards the end of our interview, after we had had a couple different conversations, I was also, mind you, the cameraman in this instance too. So I'd have to stop and walk behind the camera, hit stop, hit start if we needed to redo things. I think we cut it maybe 2 or 3 times, took breaks, came back on. At the very end, this was the thing that was the most interesting to me and why I remember it so much is that I asked, is there anything that you would want to say to Gannon? In this interview, she had told me that she believed he was coming home. She said yes, gave her statement, and I said, okay, we got it. And then she said, you know, what if we did that one more time? And I said, sure, whatever you want. So I went back, turned the camera back on, but this time she was crying when she was not crying the first time, and her demeanor completely changed. It went basically from, I can't wait till you're home, everyone's going to see that I'm not lying, they owe me an apology, to, I will not mimic someone crying, but she was very upset in the second part, which took a second to happen.
Now, he know that was very rude and disrespectful. He knew we wanted to hear his imitation. I don't do imitations of people crying. Sir, that's what you here for. Get us into the moment, into the mood. We need everything. Thank you. But we gonna forgive him because we appreciate him for playing his role and getting this interview. Listen. Do you think that Letecia thought that this was going to just be enough to get her enough time to run? Or she thought that this was really going to profess her English? I said, oh my goodness, I don't know what I just said. It was going to help her profess her innocence, and it was really going to get the attention away from her. I don't know if she thought that because she was bold enough to say this, allegedly, in my opinion, stupid ass shit, because that's just dumb. It's just dumb. The first statement that you said, who would even formulate that dumb shit? But okay, okay.
Based on the things that you were hearing coming from the defendant, Letecia Stauch in this case, during that interview, did it seem that she was more focused on how she was being perceived publicly as opposed to helping find Gannon?
Absolutely. I talked to neighbors who were more concerned for Gannon.
Okay. And, Your Honor, may I approach with People's Exhibit 334?
You may.
Now, we know here in Too Basic to Be Bougie Land, I don't know nothing about nothing, right? I be trying to do these videos, but I'm only here for the shits and giggles. So if it don't make it funnier, I don't really give a fuck. I really don't. It's so sad. It's so bad. I'm not doing no investigation, but what I suggest that you do is just that, your own investigation. But listen, if you're not familiar at all, then just listen. Now, know that I'm a liar and I'm a lie to you, but just take it as fact, okay? Now, meet Letecia Stauch, right? AKA, you ready for it? Kim Kardashian. She wanted to be a Kardashian. Okay, maybe that wasn't like her life goal. She had posters up and that wasn't like her idol, but I'm just giving you ideas. She did say that at one point in time. She thought very highly of herself. And I believe that's what led to this child's demise. Letecia Stauch, I don't know. I don't even know where to start. But listen, she got married to this man who was in the army, right? Now, she had a child, a girl, who was almost legal enough that she could leave this child anywhere in America and she could gallivant across the skies as a flight attendant and be the Kardashian wannabe that she always wanted to be. I don't know what happened in the meantime. I don't know if it was a goal of money or if she was so wrapped up in just the hype. I think it might have been the stability, even. I don't think Letecia can create the stability that she wants. She just wants the quick results. She wants the riches without the work. She met this man who was actually serving this country. He was in the service, Army, Navy. I think he was in the Army. I don't know. He was actually gallivanting across the skies and living his best life. This man, after they got married, even had the audacity to take an assignment in Alaska and leave that motherfucker here. He just left her ass. OMG. He was like, country first. Then I see y'all eventually. Now, he was being a good husband and father in his eyes. I can't judge it because it wasn't me. I don't know. But she stepped in. She started playing housewife. She didn't want to be no motherfucking mother. She wanted them kids to be self-sufficient. Get the fuck out my face. Man, she had two needy ass kids that she didn't want and a husband that she couldn't stand. And just all the thoughts in her mind. That's what really got her. She's sitting there in an unhappy ass situation. Now she's looking at 2 weeks, okay? So we're going to skip a whole bunch of stuff. You didn't miss a whole bunch of the marriage. But listen, this man decided he had to go on his assignment. He was going for 2 weeks as per the government. Right? And he thought the best person to watch his kids was this lady. Now, this lady has been this lady for her entire life. She has not changed one bit. The way she acted on that camera and she wanted things to be about herself, Miss Letecia Stauch didn't change. That was her like a week after, 2 weeks after. Okay. I'm not blaming him at all. I'm just saying what had happened. Right? So he left his kids. His mama was there. She had help with the kids. And then all of a sudden, you gotta realize that too. His mama was there. I think she was there for like a week. So Letecia might not have been happy necessarily, but she had help. She had the husband and she had the mama-in-law. And then everybody left. So I got these goddamn kids. As soon as the daddy then left, the little boy then cut his foot on the piece of wood in the garage. He in here crying. He bleeding. Get the hell away from my car. She had a lot going on. Yes. So Letecia decided to take this little child off the earth because I don't know. I think I might formulate a plan as we go, but Letecia was bored. She was very volatile. She thought highly of herself, and when you think highly of yourself, your personal perception can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. I really tell people that personal perception is one of them things I don't mess with because your beliefs, your thoughts will make you do unreasonable things, and I don't want to be the recipient of those things. So she did. She had some unreasonable thoughts, some unreasonable actions, and I think she just went a little too far. And then she was like, well, you know what? Since I'm already here, I'm still on the fence about if she's ever done anything like this before. But okay, I'm sorry. I don't even know if that was a... yeah, did we get there? I don't know all that I just said. I'm going to re-listen to it, but I think we stuck with it. All right. Well, yeah, let's get back into the video.
You are.
I am Letecia Stauch, which is Gannon's stepmother.
You've been a part of the investigation since the very first time. You were the last person to see him. Is that right?
Correct.
What did you see when you last saw him?
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about anything with the case. I would more so be willing to talk about how the community needs to have faith and continue to work together and not make these false accusations, like the things that have been said that I've disappeared from the community. I haven't been there to help, but there's lots of reasons behind that.
Reasons like death threats, right?
Right. Death threats are one of them. My family's getting lots of death threats. We counted over 20 some death threats already. Two, my husband's ex-wife is living in our home. And of course, I'm not coming home to do these things and to help with the family when I was kind of like told I couldn't. And then many other things that happened with the El Paso County Police Department, and in doing the investigation, I was told I wasn't complying. And could I elaborate on that?
Please do.
Yes. So I asked for an attorney during the interview, and I was denied that by them. I was held because they were blocking the door, and I was told I couldn't leave, and that if I would have touched them, they would have probably, said I still wasn't complying, or said I was, trying to run away or something. But during the interview, I asked several times, could I stop the interview? Could I get an attorney? Could I stop the interview? Could I get an attorney? I was denied. I was told I couldn't get nothing to drink. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I mean, it was continuously that my constitutional rights were violated.
And that's why you say that they said then you weren't cooperating with the investigation.
That's why they said I wasn't cooperating at that time. Correct.
First of all, they gave you a little funky ass hot pocket, and you look like you gobbled it all up. So you definitely had you some food. I think you had something to drink. Oh yeah, I think you had something to drink because you was collecting cups like a homeless person collecting cans to cash them in. Boo, come on now. They told us she couldn't go in the bathroom and wash her cooch area. I don't know if that's going to be allowed on YouTube. I think that's not vulgar. That's a good description. She was claiming that, I don't even know at this point who it was, but yeah, she was claiming somebody had did some things to her, and that's how this child became missing, and they would not let her go in the bathroom, essentially because she was acting real suspect. And it was like, okay, if this did happen, boo, we going all the way, and we gonna need you to play the role. You can't wash nothing off. You can't wash no evidence off. We need to make sure we swab every, OMG, that's so bad. That's so bad. She did this to herself for no reason. Oh my goodness, yeah. Meet Letecia, y'all.
Well, I asked for an attorney at the time because there was one individual, there was two really good detectives, and so I'm not, going to talk bad about detectives, but the tactics they started to get when I would answer questions, they try to, they're detectives, they're supposed to twist. The one main goal is to find Gannon. But during that time, some of those things made me feel uncomfortable the way they were saying things. So I immediately stopped and felt like an attorney would help me with some of the vocabulary and things like that I needed help with, and understanding some of the things that they were asking.
I'm going to shift gears to what has become a huge online presence of people obviously trying to do the right thing, help find Gannon. But at the same time, sometimes it just feels like rumor mongering. Have you seen any of those comments yourself?
We have. And see, that's one of the main things we haven't been around in the public eye, because I didn't want to expose my family to it if all these things were going on. There was comments about Gannon getting pushed off the hike, and there was comments about this, and that's just not true. I took care of Gannon for the last 2 years in our home because his mother didn't want to do it. And I would never, never, ever hurt this child. And I know there's some questions out there about, okay, so tell me what happens. That's up to the investigations when they end up letting you guys know. But I've cooperated with them, even to the point that we were held with a gun. And my daughter, a 17-year-old who serves our country in the United States Air Force, who has never committed a crime or done anything wrong in her life, was put in handcuffs over the keys that was in her purse so they could take her car.
And they weren't in there.
They weren't even in her car. I mean, in her purse.
And
they were in my pocket.
You originally didn't even know if it was a law enforcement officer?
I didn't know it was a law enforcement officer because when he came out, I guess he was putting his jacket on, and it wasn't necessarily his fault. He was adjusting and happened to catch me. But I saw the gun and I panicked originally and kind of thought, oh gosh, I got to, like, who's this guy? And then once I realized it was the sheriff's office, I was totally okay, but they still had a gun and told me they were going to shoot me. But I was really concerned about my daughter, asking why she was being detained in handcuffs and things like that, when that shouldn't even happen for a child. That shouldn't happen for someone who was standing inside of a store shopping, because we couldn't have any clothes because all of our clothes were here. If we came here and got clothes, we would be harassed. So she went to purchase some underwear and things like that and was put in the handcuffs in the store, and then brought out with men with guns. And that's just not okay. They could have approached me and said, hi, I'm with El Paso County. Can I please get this? Instead of the way that it happened.
Okay, so let's just stop and take a look at this day. So we are here on January the 31st, 2020. It says Brenda rents a moving type van for Letecia and Harley to move their things out of the family home. Letecia and Dakota go to the police station to get Letecia's pocketbook back. Unclear if she was successful. Letecia and Harley move out of the family home and are observed doing so by law enforcement. Law enforcement checks what they take out of the house. At 12:10 p.m., Letecia records an interview with KKTV with her back turned to the camera. Harley is also there. Letecia speaks about Facebook drama that Gannon is a sweet kid and she can't wait for him to come home so that everyone will apologize to her. Video is widely available. It's not. It's not. Go check it. Go check it. I don't know what's wrong with my YouTube, but when I check it, it don't be there. It don't be there. Investigators search Harley's car on this day. Wait a minute. So this the same day where they got her in the parking lot? I'm confused. I'm confused. This was supposed to clear it up for me. Dakota drives the moving van. That's her brother, in case anyone was wondering. Letecia and Harley are observed downtown at 3 p.m. exiting the Nissan Altima. They return to the car and go to the hotel where law enforcement follows them and places a GPS tracker on the Nissan Altima. If you are wondering what Nissan Altima, I'm telling you, do your own research. I'm going to link this whole thing in the description. You can go see how long it is. Read it all. Read it all. Approximately around 3:30 p.m., Letecia says that she needs to get dog food and takes the Nissan Altima out. Yes. I don't know if that's when she moved him from where she had dropped him off, like in the woods, or if it was from car to car, but she definitely was out with Gannon. Letecia drives the Nissan Altima to the same area okay. I should have just kept reading. Her VW Tiguan was believed to have been active, i.e. the first place Gannon's remains were deposited. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this was the wooded area where she had left them around 4:41 p.m. Letecia returns to the hotel around 6 p.m. So that was her first day. That was her first day of freedom. She not doing too good. She not doing good. This is the day that your child got chased down and put in handcuffs. I just want to know, has she ever heard of juvenile detention centers? She know that's the thing, right? She know it's a lot of kids who get put in handcuffs. I just want to make sure because I be having questions. But listen. And then you did the interview. You did this interview and you did not do a good job. So your first day, I don't want to say like first day, but this was the first day that she was actively like plotting, planning. I think that was like to help her stay free as long as possible in her mind. And that interview was helpful or meant to be helpful. Yeah. I can't wait to the day get to the day where she make the phone call to the people about the lie detector test. This was the dumbest that I had ever heard in my life. It was amazing to me. It was amazing. And the fact that they had recorded calls. Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. I don't even know what day that is, but this is part one. Let's go ahead and finish this out and see if I got anything else to say.
Just gonna check your shot. Doing great. Want to make sure that we're still good on recording. Still can hear you okay. Okay, yeah, sounds like we're good. Every once in a while my mic will be out, and I want to make sure that's not going to happen here. Okay. I should try and clarify here. Not necessarily crime rates, but the way that people are reacting online to rumors about you with the search.
Oh yes. Wow. The rumors have gotten so bad. I pretty much have been told at least 10 different ways that these people have these conspiracy theories. I guess they watch a lot of law shows and maybe they have all these theories on how Gannon is dead. And that's what they're saying. So I'm like, why are you saying Gannon is dead? He is not dead. We are going to find Gannon. And that's the main goal that we all have. My family has. Just because you haven't seen us, we have that same goal. And we've been out searching. My aunt has been out searching. My family has been out searching. We all have been doing that together so that we could protect each other.
How does it feel when not only you have a lost child who you are in care of, but then people blaming you for that child not being there?
You know, I'm just ready for Gannon to come home. Most importantly, for him to see his family. But second, I am going to be so ecstatic when I'm able to say to people that I hope they have a really sincere apology for all these theories that have came out online, for all the things they said that I have done or people have done. And I just want everyone to know that we're going to find Gannon. And I love him so much. I've helped taking care of him for so long.
Can you talk to me a little bit about him? I don't know him.
Gannon is so kind and he loves to play video games. That's one of his favorite things. He loves Sonic and Mario. And, you know, he's always helpful. And he was always so helpful with the dogs around the house. And we have 2 little cute dogs. And he was always like a person I could say, Gannon, can you go do this? And he would do it right away. You know, sometimes with kids, we have to remind them and things like that. And that's okay. But he was so sweet and able to help anyone. He could notice when you're sick and say, are you okay? And such a kind heart.
I swear, you would have thought she would have had a small inkling that they would ask a question like, hey, so tell me a little bit about Gannon, or hey, what type of child was Gannon, anything like that. This straight up looked like she at a Miss America pageant and they're asking her questions about ending world hunger. Like, I just don't understand, but the way she answered, he's so helpful. He can tell if you're sick and all those kind of things. I don't know nothing about nothing about nothing. I just always got questions, and I've never gotten this question out because it is not necessary. A, it's not. It's not. I'm warning you now. And B, it's probably TMI. It's nothing that we should actually probably have the answer to. But I do remember, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, and I promise I will never mention this again. Just comment below. You wrong. You never heard that. You making it up in your mind. Because I could be. But allegedly, in my opinion, according to what be going around in this brain of mine, I could have swore I heard something about enemas, right? Right? I've not watched this trial in a while, but I believe there was some talk about enemas. Oh yeah, I believe she asked if she could give him one, or she should give him one, or she did give him one, something to that effect. Hey, I just wonder, did he have one before he went on the hike? I feel like this was a form of, I don't want to say punishment, possibly, but also, didn't her grandfather give her enemas every day, allegedly? Why? Oh, not why. Let me see. Do you think that she kind of possibly had like um, uh, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. A bad habit that was picked up from childhood experiences. I don't know if it was punishment or if she got some. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I'm not going to go that way. But I believe Letecia, in my opinion, had some issues with males. Did she treat the girls as bad? And why the only boy? The boy was outnumbered 2-1. He was the only one who got mistreatment. Now, granted, he was the sicker one, but I don't know. I think it's a correlation, in my opinion. I don't know what the correlation is because I'm not book smart. I'm not book smart. I've not been trained to read people's minds and know what's going on in there. And mine's is all fuzzy, so I just wonder. I don't know. It really creeps me out the way she describes him, and to know that she possibly could have been giving him them, because that would explain why he had an accident on himself. That would explain who can get an enema and go on a hike, even if you are severely constipated. I have experience with severely constipated people, and you might be able to hold it up there for a while, boo. It ain't going it ain't going to stay up there forever, though. It will come out.
I know you just said that you can't say anything about the investigation, so you can just say so again if you can't answer this. But is there anything we can hear about the hike? Was there a hike? You don't. That just seems like rumors right now.
You know what? Could we bring my daughter up here? Because she can go and say that, she came home from work after the hike and she can verify that Gannon was at our home.
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me. If she doesn't want to, that's okay, but you're allowed to say after. Not okay so far?
Yes. I need Harley. Because they want you to verify was Gannon at home after the hike. Because you didn't go to the hike, but you came home from work.
Want me to just say yes?
No, just answer the question. Yes, you came home from work and you can verify Gannon was at home. Yeah. I told her she didn't have to be too in depth because she is still, a child. But I want to make sure that someone knows that there's another person to verify that Gannon.
Sure.
Does she need to hold this?
No.
Yes, so I came home later that evening. I was at work and I can verify that he was there that night.
So there was a hike that you guys went on, but then you guys came home.
Yes.
Where'd you guys go hiking?
Garden of the Gods.
Oh, yes. Okay. I guess when.
And then we ate Burger King afterwards. So,
There you go.
yeah.
And then it just was, I'm gonna go to play at a friend's house. And then it was just, I'm off to go to play at a friend's house.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to comment on that anymore. And for that reason is because some things have been turned and twisted. And, that was one of those stories you were talking about where people say things. We had to hear things like who would let their child go out at dark and things like that. And that's just why I don't want to answer that. If I had to give, I'm not gonna say that part.
That's okay.
Never mind. I could take that out.
I understand that it gets tricky with
Yeah.
stuff. Do you feel like, I asked you what I need to, do you feel like this is going to help kind of turn the tide of what feels like a witch hunt, in my opinion?
I hope, am I on camera now?
You are
Okay,
still.
okay. I think that a lot of people can see that I'm not missing and see that I am being cooperative. But to me, it's okay that they think those things, because the way someone thinks about me, I don't have a problem with that. My main thing is I would never want someone to think that I would hurt Gannon or any of the children in our home, because that's just not the case. I've spent my whole entire life working so hard in education. There was even things online that was talking about my education license and I shouldn't even be a teacher. And they just didn't know that. Like, we moved on a military move and I didn't finish out my contract. So I gave up my license in that state. It had nothing to do with any criminal activity, or any of those things. And it just got blown out of proportion on my professional status, and
I just want to say one thing before I say this next thought. In some places they advocate for teachers to have weapons just in case anything happens in the school to protect your kids. But can you think of the reverse when a child, have you seen some of the things that these kids will say and do to these teachers? I think one-on-one, okay, you might have to handle yourself. I would never do it. I would never be outnumbered by any amount of people on a daily basis, let alone kids, depending on what school you're going to. But besides that, can you imagine a Letecia Stauch with some of the thoughts that she had in her mind dealing with Gannon, dealing with your kids on a daily basis? Remember some of the teachers that you just could not stand for one reason or another? Think about how justified it might have actually been looking back. Most of the time, you're to blame. You're blamed. All the teachers, the parents say you're to blame. But think about it. If the teacher was literally picking, because they had devious thoughts and was trying to just, no, man, that's why I don't play with people. Letecia, as a teacher, let that lady be a flight attendant. I think she was better suited. She started off by trying to make it seem real fantasy, like, oh, they're watching a lot of reality TV, true crime. Like, this is only stuff that you see on TV, but you know that reality, true crime is real life, right? So they basing it on what they know from real life and comparing it to your lies and this situation, and they figuring this shit out. That's why I don't understand why she thought this whole statement, the whole interview was a good idea.
I feel like these are just internet detectives who think they know what they're doing.
it definitely is. And here's the thing that kind of saddens me. It's like, if you're going to talk about someone like that and have a witch hunt out for them, why would you even care about doing those things? Because this is a child. You're telling me that you're just as mean, you're just as hateful to talk about someone else like that. That's how I feel. Like, we should all come together and wait until the end and see what happens, because Gannon's going to come home.
Any message for Gannon?
The message for Gannon I have is, Gannon, when you get here, you'll be able to truly tell what happened. And then I really hope I get a sincere apology from everyone who has made all those things, especially from my husband. We just wanted to add a message to Gannon from my family, is that we love you and miss you. And we hope that you come home soon. And Gannon, I can't wait till you can come home and let everyone know that you're okay. We love you.
This was literally her mic drop. This was her ready, on your march, get set, or on your mark. I think I learned that one day. On your mark, get set, go. But she got a head start. She literally thought this was going to be her head start. Girl, you got to be out, yo. I understand this was a moment of desperation, but I couldn't unzip it no better. I mean, I could have. I'm not going to do that, because that's disrespectful. But I think what she just did was disrespectful too.
Crying immediately following the interview. Did her demeanor change following the interview?
Yes.
Let me ask those separately so that it's clear which one is you're answering to. Did she stop crying immediately following the interview?
quicker than a normal person would stop crying.
And did her demeanor change following the interview?
Yes.
All right, I will allow reasonable follow-up as to those questions only. Prosecution,
No, Your Honor.
defense?
Was the camera shut off immediately after the interview, or was there film that was not shown that would have shown her demeanor afterwards?
The relevant pieces of information, the camera was still rolling previous to, or I'm sorry, post that interview. That being said, the microphone was removed from Letecia Stauch, and also I left the scene.
So there would have been, though, video to confirm what you're saying about when she stopped crying.
It would have been outside of the view of the camera. I'm not sure if she had the microphone on that at the time.
Okay, and that wasn't played for the jury.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You may step down.